presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The Rays offense has been rocking and rolling in Toronto, scoring 25 runs in games 1 and 2 of this series. Tonight, right-hander Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill as Tampa Bay goes for the sweep of the Jays. Tonight, we welcome you to Rogers Center in Toronto, just blocks away from Lake Ontario, where the Rays will look for a sweep of this Toronto Blue Jays ball club. They've taken the first 2 games in resounding fashion, outscoring the Blue Jays 25-4. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays have been looking for a couple of nights like we've seen in games 1 and 2 of this series, where the offense is going in full bore.
It's going off the deep end. I mean, these last couple of games, you come in, you look at the matchup, you say J-Happ, Marcus Stroman, it's going to be a battle. Well, guess what? It has not been. They have sent a message early and often, and what they've done the first 2 games, I mean, they've not done in years. 25 runs, 34 hits, 4 home runs the first night. Love the way they scored 12 runs last night with just 1 home run. They've scored in 12 of the 18 innings that they have hit in, and everybody has been involved, including Taylor Motter the night before getting his first big league hit, and then how about a pinch hit home run last night? Right now, everything is clicking for this offense. See if they can keep it going.
Well, the pitching matchup tonight, a good one. Jake Odorizzi, not a lot to show for over the scope of this season. Some pretty good work, and he'll be opposed by the veteran right-hander on the hill here tonight, R.A. Dickey, for the Toronto Blue Jays.
And listen, you know, Jake Odorizzi's had 2 shots at the Blue Jays already, and he's thrown the ball extremely well. He's given up just 2 earned runs in a total of 12 2/3 innings. He's gotten absolutely no support. Look at the numbers against this team. A 1.42 ERA, a 1.40 opponent's average, and I'll tell you, his stuff plays very well. He does a good job of changing speeds and using the entire strike zone and then expanding from there. That's going to play well against this lineup. And R.A. Dickey, I'll tell you, 19 career starts against the Rays, even up record, but I'll tell you, the last 3 starts have been very good for R.A., and he's made a couple of tweaks in the way that he's attacking hitters with the knuckleball, changing speeds more with that pitch, number 1, and number 2, tweaking his delivery, sometimes hesitating, sometimes speeding it up, giving a hitter different looks.
So again, Jake Odorizzi looking for his first win. R.A. Dickey coming in 2 up and 4 down on the year for Toronto. Rays baseball just around the corner to wrap up this series. Tonight's Wednesday Showdown is brought to you by your Tampa Bay area Mazda dealers. Rays winners in games 1 and 2 of this series. Wrap it up here tonight. The matchup, Jake Odorizzi against R.A. Dickey. And here's a quick look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Rays will again have Brandon Guyer in the leadoff spot. He is the DH tonight, followed by Taylor Motter at short and Evan Longoria at third base hitting third. Steven Souza Jr. in right, Logan Morrison at first, and Desmond Jennings in the lineup in left hitting sixth in front of Kevin Kiermaier. Hank Conger hits eighth, he'll catch. Tim Beckham will get a start at second base and bat ninth.
Well, the Rays will be facing the knuckleballer for the Toronto Blue Jays, right-hander R.A. Dickey, making his 9th start of the season. Been on a nice little run. His last 3 have been very good. His last start against the Texas Rangers in Arlington, the best start of the year for him. 8 shutout innings, just 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 6, and picking up that second win. Let's take a look at the Toronto Blue Jay defense and see how it's going to line up behind R.A. here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, we have Michael Saunders, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Bautista. Across that infield, third to first, Jimmy Paredes, Troy Tulowitzki, Ryan Goins, and Justin SMOAK, with Josh Thole behind the plate.
Well, the Rays up a game in the season series, 5-4 with the Blue Jays, and they moved ahead of them in the American League East. A game up, the Rays are running third, 5 back, and the Blue Jays fourth, 6 games off the pace at the start of play today. Well, here's Brandon Guyer all set to go to work against R.A. Dickey. And Dickey has a nice run of starts going for him. First pitch of this game is a strike with Marty Foster behind the plate. Pitch is up. 1-1. Guyer 3 of 12 against Dickey, and here we take a look at the last 3 starts for R.A. Dickey. Friday coming off a win and pitching 8 innings on the road in Arlington, Texas. Good starts against the Dodgers and the Rangers to start that 3-game run.
Well, R.A. Dickey, known for being able to throw a hard knuckleball, still can do that, but he's been changing speeds on that pitch more as of late during this nice little run. Changing his delivery up every now and then, the tempo.
And Guyer battling him. 5 pitches in already. Down in the count, a ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you want to make sure as a hitter against a knuckleballer that you see the ball up in the zone. Really, that's as simple as it gets. See it up and then take a hack.
Guyer got out of the way of that one, and it's 2-2.
Too close to above the shoulders. Take that in the thigh, shin, backside, up around the shoulder to the face, get out of the way.
There's a cut and a miss. The Guyer's out on strikes to start this game. Brings up Taylor Motter, tonight's Geico great moment. Motter last night pinch hitting in the 9th inning and collecting his first big league home run. In an 0-1 pitch delivered by Drew Storen. So he has that first hit out of the way the night before, his first home run in the big leagues last night. And here he is, 3rd game up, and he's facing the knuckleball. 1-1.
It's been an eventful couple of days for Taylor Motter. Coming out of Durham, getting a start, hitting the 2-hole, pinch hit homer last night, knuckleballer here tonight. It certainly has not, an exciting time in a young man's life regardless, but it has been eventful on top of it.
It's a strike, and it's 2-2.
That's something that R.A. Dickey will do. Falling behind, especially with right-handed hitters, he will try to sneak that fastball in there. 82 to 84. Pick up a cheap strike.
And now the count is full. Yeah, you'll see the fastball from him maybe somewhere around 10% of the time. Against right-handed hitters, a little more.
And most of it is when he falls behind. Obviously, if he's out ahead, he wants that ball dancing all over the place, and that's where he likes to change speeds with that knuckleball. But from behind, you know, maybe 25, 30%, he'll try to sneak one in there.
And the tap foul.
It's not a pitch you're looking for, though. Nobody's sitting on Dickey's fastball. And if they are, well, maybe this isn't the line of work for you.
And a cut and a miss. Well, he came 3-2 with a fastball.
How about that?
Strikes him out.
I wonder how many strikeouts he picks up on the heater. Probably not that many. 84 right there, and you know, you're just not expecting it. You're thinking mid to upper 70s knuckleball, and he sneaks it by him.
Here's Evan Longoria. There's a base hit off the first pitch, right through the middle to extend his hitting streak to 7. So the Rays get a base runner.
Waste no time. This knuckleball is up in the zone, and there's no reason to wait around for anything else. You see one up there that's out over the plate, hammer it. It's a great shot of that pitch. Just does not spin until it's hit.
Yeah, you supply your own spin.
Yes.
Now Steven SOUZA Jr. unleashes a big cut, strike 1. SOUZA is 3 out of 8 against Dickey, including a home run. One and one. For SOUZA, the spin is not the issue because he'll supply all the power you need. He just needs a pitch up in the hitting zone. And one that will stay there.
That's the thing. That pitch, and that's why you've got a better chance if it's up in the zone to hit it. If it's down in the zone, it's going to bottom out quick. But even the ones that are up there, I mean, they'll shoot. You saw the one up and in on Brandon Guyer, that one away from SOUZA Jr.
Fouls it back. Here's that home run we referenced for SOUZA against R.A. Dickey. Roller to third. Paredes will go to second base for the force play. The Rays are out in the first. Bottom of the inning coming. No score. Rogers Center in Toronto. Jake Odorizzi will face this lineup for the Blue Jays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Michael Saunders, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion. Justin SMOAK hitting cleanup tonight in front of Troy Tulowitzki. Jimmy Paredes, the new addition, is at third. Kevin Pillar, Ryan Goins, and Josh Thole rounding out the lineup for the Blue Jays.
Well, and right-hander Jake Odorizzi taking the mound tonight here for the Tampa Bay Rays. Still does not have a win to show for some pretty good work that Jake has done this year, and hopefully he can go out there tonight, pitch deep into this ball game, and get that first elusive win.
Saunders takes the first pitch for a ball.
I'll tell you one way that he can do that is get off to a quick start, because that has been something that has hampered Jake early in ball games. High pitch counts, runs given up.
Now you look at his numbers in the first inning, first and second innings, and then beyond that, and there's a stark contrast.
Just not coming in as sharp as you would like. That's really all that is.
It's popped up foul. Conger gives it a look, but no chance. Halfway back to the screen, that's out of play.
It's one of those things too that you'll address and think to yourself, okay, listen, a lot of trouble that I've had has been early in games. Am I coming out of the bullpen ready to go? I mean, am I game ready when I'm done warming up? Because it seems like Jake comes out, has a lot of high pitch first innings, a lot of foul balls, deep counts.
There's a strike, and it's 2-2. Well, last outing was the prototypical example of that. 42 pitches, 31 strikes, and he had that 14 pitch at bat by Billy Burns, sharply hit. But MOTTER is right there on the shift to take care of Saunders.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that Tampa Bay Rays defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. Out in the outfield, left to right, we've got Jennings, Kiermaier, and SOUZA Jr. And across that infield, third to first, Longoria. How about MOTTER Beckham, your double play combination in the middle there? Logan Morrison with Hank Conger behind the plate.
Taylor MOTTER played short at Durham. And there's Tim Beckham over at second base tonight against the knuckleballer. There's a first pitch strike to Bautista. Bautista has had a difficult time with Odorizzi this year overall, hitting .227. But when you look at his on-base percentage, it's .376 with a .468 slugging percentage. 2-1, 34 walks in that mix, and against Odorizzi, 1 of 17.
How about that? Sometimes you just can't explain why. There's a guy that as a pitcher you absolutely own.
A little wide in the count. Runs to 3 balls and a strike. Hot shot to third, right to Longoria. And they toss across in plenty of time, 2 outs.
Well, 2 ground balls here for Jake Odorizzi. That's a good thing. His infielders would kind of like a little less velo coming off the bat, because they have been well struck getting on Evan Longoria and Taylor MOTTER in a hurry. But 2 outs nonetheless.
Well, get through the first inning and then worry about the rest, because he's pitched pretty well if he can get through the early stages of a game. And a big cut, boy. Edwin Encarnacion has maybe the mightiest cut going right now. He really airs it out when he takes that big swing.
And you know, for a guy over the course of his career, a guy with a swing that big, he doesn't strike out as much as you would think. Better contact guy than usually someone that swings that hard.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
So you know he's going to punch out right here, and then I'm just going to take the rest of the night off. Sit this one out, Dwayne.
That's why That's why it's so much fun.
You never know what you'll see.
Lifts the fly ball to right. SOUZA Jr. is there waiting, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Odorizzi. He'll take it. No score. From $2 Kids Day to $2 Dogs, senior special to student rush. The Rays have something for everyone every night of the week. Check out the great specials at RaysBaseball.com/specials or call 888-FAN-RAYS now. Logan Morrison will open the second inning against Dickey. Then Jennings and Kiermaier. First pitch in there, first strike. Longoria had the base hit in the first. And Morrison down in the count 0-2. Logan a couple of hits last night and 2 runs batted in.
Yeah, that was really, really nice to see. I mean, a reward for how hard he's been working. A guy who's used to having a whole lot more success than he's had this year, but he's never hung his head and he's never thrown in the towel. And he was rewarded with a nice night last night. And who knows, maybe a springboard.
One would hope so, and you'd have reason to think so. For 6 weeks he was in the doldrums. If he goes 10 for his next 10, he'll be hitting .230, and he's got the rest of the season to build on that. So we'll see what happens here. 2-2.
That would be something if he could pull that off. I smell player of the week.
Yeah. But if he could put together a couple of runs, maybe not a 10 for 10, but get hot for 2 or 3 games and put them together and then hold his own, do that again, he could be up there before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah, and really at this point it's all about confidence. And when you're in the stretch that he was in, confidence is low no matter how hard you're working. When you get a little feedback, base hits, runs batted in, that confidence starts to climb.
A little looper into center field that's going to drop in front of Pilar. Well, there's the start of 10 for 10 with a base hit tonight. He said something the other night, Morrison, that made a lot of sense for a guy who's been in his position. He said, look, I'm not thinking about what was, I'm thinking about what I can do now and looking forward. That's the only way to handle that situation. There's Desmond Jennings. There's a strike.
And that's not real easy to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean that is tough to do because it's real easy. It's all right there in the back of your mind to reflect, and you just don't have the time for it if you want to be able to get out of it.
Ground ball. Out at second and safe at first. The throw wide as well. Goins started it. Tulowitzki's throw wide, so Morrison is forced at second base, and Jennings on the fielder's choice becomes the runner.
Thought this ball had a chance maybe to sneak into right field, but a nice play by Ryan Goins and the feed to Tulowitzki. He tries to put a little mustard on that throw. Ends up pulling smoke right off the bag. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. I think Jennings was going to beat that out.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Kevin has put together a little hitting streak now. Takes the pitch inside. It had been a struggle for Kevin, but a 6-game hitting streak, 8 of his last 22. One on with one out. 2-0 the count to Kiermaier. Takes that for a strike. It's short. Took a look back at Marty Foster. Thought that pitch might have been a little high, and apparently it caught just that corner. And that is a pitch that Foster doesn't always call. He skews just a little bit to the hitters, Marty Foster, but sometimes will widen the plate, especially with a right-handed hitter up there. But he's pretty true to the strike zone, and we saw that on that pitch to Kiermaier that he called a strike. Fouled it back. The pitch about in that same spot.
And so then it forces a swing. You know, Kevin Kiermaier saying, I'm not going to get that called on me again. Plus, it's up in the zone, which is where I want it. All right, Dickey trying to make a pitch and keep his eye on Desmond Jennings. You know, we always talk about the fact that Dickey being a knuckleballer, you would think the running game would play a big role against him. It does not. But how about the fact that not a stolen base attempt this season?
Yep. He has one pickoff. Now he strikes out Kiermaier with a second out. But Dickey can move out there. He has quick feet.
Well, that's what he does. His thing is right here. Look, he just picks it up, puts it down, delivers the pitch. There's just not a lot of wasted movement. So his time to the plate, even though he's throwing a knuckleball in the mid to upper 70s, is going to be quick. And it's going to take a tremendous jump and really almost a bad throw from THOLE.
Pitch upstairs to Hank Conger. Conger 3 for 12 in his career against Dickey, so he gets to make the start against the knuckleballer.
There's that little subtraction on the knuckler. We've seen it anywhere from 76, 79. That one at 70. Pull the string a little bit. And so not only are you dealing with the dancing pitch, but at different speeds.
Now it's 1-2. Well, that's it, the variation between pitches.
You don't often get overpowered by a knuckleball, but that's what just happened right there. 70 to 77.
Yeah, one was 70, the next one's 77. It's what you've been used to.
Yeah, that's right. Everything is relative.
Now a 2-2 count. Jennings, the base runner. And the count is now full.
Well, that'll get him going. That's a plus for the Rays. Jennings on the move. Start thinking about dropping a ball in the gap and getting a lead.
It's Beckham on deck, 2 outs. Jennings will be off. And a toss over there by Dickey. And ball 4. So the Rays will get 2 men on. Up to second base goes Jennings. And Tim Beckham, who gets the start at second base. Beckham 1 out of 3 in his career against Dickey. Beckham homered his first time up in this series Monday night against the left-hander Jay Happ. Looks at strike 1. This one off the mitt of THOLE, and that will put 2 men now in scoring position.
Well, you got a chance now, a base hit to knock in 2 runs, and you also have now that runner down at third in Desmond Jennings. That one more wayward knuckleball could get you a run. Chances to score here.
And against the knuckleball, you'll take a run any way you can get it. Charge THOLE with a pass ball. Beckham chasing that one.
That was filthy. I mean, that thing came in there dancing and then just down and away with slider type action. And Tim Beckham was asking, where was that pitch? Where'd that thing go? Looking for it. Swear it was right there.
Out on strikes. Chase that one up. Rays lead 2, no score. Middle of 2. Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. By Bright House Networks. Visit brighthouse.com. And by Furman, the Bay Area's first name in Chevrolet. Justin Smoak will open the home half of the second inning here in Toronto. He takes a cut and a miss out in front. Smoak, Tulowitzki, and Paredes due up for the Blue Jays. Nothing in 2. Jake Odorizzi making his 3rd start against the Blue Jays this year. It's deep and well foul the other way. In those first 2 starts, the Blue Jays are only hitting 140 off him. No wins, no losses for Jake against this club.
He's been out there for 12 2/3. Coming into this start, the Rays had scored 2 runs during that time frame. That's why. And I'll tell you, the number that you just said, 140 batting average against, I would say that that would lead to a pretty good blueprint for what you should be doing here tonight.
Yep. Pitch fouled back. Take a look at the 2 pitching lines in April and May. 10 strikeouts in April, 2 walks, 6 and 2. The ratio in the May start, May 1st. And there is a cut and a little piece of that one. He got just a little bit of it. So the count's still a ball, 2 strikes.
These last 2 foul balls by Justin Smoak have come off the changeup, and that changeup does not have the same finish as we've seen previously. It's kind of staying in the same place, and that's why hitters are able to foul it off and stay alive.
Little tap, grab by Odorizzi, and the underhanded toss over to first. 1 away. 1 out. Troy Tulowitzki's on his way to the plate. We'll check in with Rich Hollenberg.
Thanks, Dwayne. BA, you know tonight is Web Wednesday here from Rogers Center in Toronto, so send your emails to foxsportsun@gmail.com or go to Twitter @FoxSportsRays, #AskRays. Our first question of the night, Dwayne and BA, comes from Vic, and he wants to know something that Jake Odorizzi actually avoided tonight. What are we going to do about the pitchers going deep into their pitch counts in the first inning and ultimately not going deep in the games?
There's Tulowitzki sending one into deep center field, and right there is KIERMAIER. Well, a catch like that by KIERMAIER is one thing that helps out.
It sure does. Use that defense. You know, it's just making sure that you come out ready to go. You come out that you're physically prepared. We know that these guys are mentally prepared. They've got a lot of information and a good game plan to go out and execute. Just a matter of, you know, like I said, coming out of the bullpen. And if that's something that you've been struggling with, then maybe you simulate a couple hitters down there before you wrap up your bullpen session. You go ahead, face a righty, face a lefty, throw a sequence of pitches, and then head into the game and make sure that you're ready to go. But I'll tell you, that last ball game, that really, I know 42 pitches, but that was that Billy Burns at bat.
Yeah, that was 14 pitches right there to go 1 and 2.
Right, and it wasn't like he was fouling off, you know, just strikes out over the plate. They were quality pitches. It was just an epic at bat by Billy Burns, and that's what really hurt Jake there.
Yeah, sometimes you got to give the opposition credit. Other times, for example, you mentioned that changeup has not had the bite that we've been accustomed to seeing. And you know what it's like in the bullpen. You can go down, warm up, and have the best stuff you think you've ever had, and it doesn't translate to the mound when you start a game, or vice versa. You could have the worst bullpen ever and go to the mound and go, wow, this is a different place. There's a long one to the opposite field, and Paredes has hit it out. Paredes on a 2-1 fastball takes it out the other way. One-nothing Toronto.
Jimmy Paredes picked up by this Blue Jay ball club not that long ago, a couple of days ago really, back in the big leagues. He is strong. He shows you that right here. Elevated up and away, and he's able to pop that thing out to left field. That's a shot right there.
Here's Kevin Pillar fouling one back. Strike one. Paredes just joined the Blue Jays in this series. Pinch hit last night in the 8th inning, got a base hit. Gets a start tonight and homers his first time up. 1-1. Blue Jays got him on a waiver claim from the Orioles. Up the right side, long run for Souza, but that ball's going to be fouled anyway. Souza Jr. hustling over there and fouled by a good 5 or 6 feet. One and two. Back to the hill. Odorizzi with the toss. A run on the home run. Nobody left. We're through 2. 1-0 Toronto. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Elsewhere around baseball, Jackie Bradley Jr. with his 23-game hitting streak. And what a run that is for him. And how about Chris Davis? We saw him swing a pretty good bat against the Rays at that recent series at the Trop. A 3-home run night, walk-off grand slam, beating Texas last night. Oakland has beaten Texas already today, 8-1, and Davis hit his 12th home run of the year in that game.
It's a nice little stretch. 12 bombs.
Pitch popped up by Geyer, a 2-0 delivery. That's Paredes walking up the mound after he made that catch. Coming in from third.
Yeah, but you know, here's the thing. Do you ever top that night? A 3-home run night, and the kicker is the walk-off Ranny,
Yep.
you don't top
No.
that night.
Can't do it.
No, it's all downhill from here.
But he did hit a home run today.
Well, not a bad downhill. He's going downhill slowly. Slow descent.
Here's MOTTER lining one, and it's caught by Tulowitzki. Taylor MOTTER hit that ball hard, but within the reach of Tulowitzki at shortstop.
Well, Troy Tulowitzki has some length, about 6'3", 6'4", long arm right there, able to track that ball down. Looked like it was destined for turf in center. Not to be.
Two up, two down. This is Evan Longoria. Evan picked up a hit in the first inning to extend his hitting streak. It's now 7 in a row. 2-0. One now. You know, with Texas losing after the fracas that the Rangers and the Blue Jays had, things have not gone well for either club. Ground ball, that one right to Goins. And Longoria played perfectly. Bottom of the third coming up. It's 1-0 Toronto. Bottom of inning 3 upon us. Duke Energy proud to support the Rays and Tampa Bay area veterans. For every game the Rays win, Duke Energy donates $1,000 to area agencies supporting our veterans. Duke Energy powering Florida with more than just energy, supporting our veterans and local charities. Ryan Goins fouls it out of play. Goins, then Thole, the catcher, back around to the top of the order, and Michael Saunders. It's a foul ball. 2 strikes. Rays scoring 25 runs combined in the first 2 games of this series.
I wonder what kind of odds you could have gotten on that, knowing who they were going to face. A division game, they're going to go up and face J-Happ, who had a 2.05 earned run average, face Marcus Stroman, who is undefeated.
Yeah, 2 unbeaten pitchers.
Yeah. And it wasn't like they messed around. I mean, they went out both nights, first, second, and third innings, scored in all 3 innings both nights and put up those crooked numbers.
Yeah, if you had said before the series started that after the first 2 nights that would be the offensive output with those guys on the hill, how many takers would you have got? Maybe 0.
No, you would have said that would have been the offensive output for both teams for the series.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's really interesting when you look at the Rays lineup, the hitters that are not in it
Tonight against the knuckleball.
Right. Guys that have started to heat up, becoming an integral part of this offense, and do not want to mess with their timing, potentially, with a knuckleball pitcher. Pierce, Dickerson, Brad Miller, the 3 of them sitting right there.
Yeah, don't even look at the knuckleball.
No.
Just turn away.
Don't even look at it. Don't touch it.
Goins draws a walk to start the bottom of the 3rd.
And, you know, the flip side of that are those guys are all available to come off the bench against a suspect bullpen. Some pretty good thump coming off later in the game, you know, if need be.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have had trouble getting the game to the closer, who's been good, but it's been an adventure in between.
A lot of potholes on that bridge. That's never a good thing.
Well, here's Josh Thole, the catcher. Hitting it on the ground. Morrison scrambles to the bag to get the out there, and up to second goes Goins. But just a little too far to the right of Morrison for him to get over to scoop to go down to second, and he has to settle for the out at first.
Well, I'll tell you, any further away from him, and this may have been a disaster for the Rays. He's overrolled that by him. But he's able to come off the bag, make the play, get the out.
So 1 away with Goins at second base. Here's Michael Saunders. Rays got him short to first on the shift in the 1st inning. They play it the same way. MOTTER on the first base side of second right now. 1 strike the count. One. Talking about those runs scored by the Rays, 25 in the first 2. It's 2 runs short of the club record back in 2014. They had scored 27 runs. In fact, they've done that a couple times. 27 runs in back-to-back games. Last time came in April of 2014 against the Yankees. Two and one to Saunders. He takes a good look, and that's ball 3. 3-1. Boy, Saunders, who missed most of last year, has been a pleasant development. He's been what they had hoped he would be, and maybe even more. Up in the count, 3-1. Pops it up, foul. Will Longoria have a play? Nearing the stands, playable, and he makes the catch.
That's a case of pitch execution by Jake Odorizzi. You got a guy in a 3-1 count. You know he wants a fastball, so you give it to him. You just put it in an area that he can't do anything with. He's either going to swing through it, or he's going to do what he just did and pop it up. And that's, listen, you don't necessarily shy away from the heater in 3-1 counts. You just have to put it in the area that you need it to be. And that's what he did. That was outstanding.
That's why pitchers are interesting creatures. There's a little devious part of pitchers' makeup.
There's a
3-1.
Yeah.
He wants a fastball, give it to him, but not where he can handle it.
There's a lot of like to deceive the runner, devious. There's
Yeah.
a lot of,
There you go.
yeah, sleight of hand.
1-0 the count to Jose Bautista. Yeah, I try to make sure I'm friendly with all of them.
That's what my dad used to do. We used to go out and run football patterns, and he knew I wanted to run like a deep post.
Yeah.
And so I would run the deep post, and he would lead me right into this bush that sat out in the middle of our yard. And I'd be up there looking back for that football. By the time I caught it, that bush would hit me. Really? Hey, I'll give him what he wants. You want the deep post?
Hey.
Here it is.
They're going to walk Bautista intentionally now.
How'd that tree taste?
Well, hey, you got to make a catch in traffic.
It's true.
So,
It's
little
trying to tough me
contact.
up.
Yeah.
That's right.
The intentional walk will send Bautista down to first. 2 men on, 2 men out. Edwin Encarnacion will be the hitter. Odorizzi got Encarnacion on a fly ball to right in the first. He's now 2 for 20 lifetime against Odorizzi. The pitch is up 1-0. But he just walked the guy who was 1 for 18 against him. But he was behind him 2-0. And now he's 1-0 to Encarnacion, and Conger's going to head to the mound.
No, already down a run. You want to make sure, because of Encarnacion and the instant offense that he can create, you've got to get this right.
Yeah, games are won and lost at any moment in that 9-inning span. It's not always late in games. It's decisions and execution early in games that make a big difference. Here's one of them, and a big cut and a miss by Encarnacion.
Just challenging him with the fastball that has a little bit of elevation to it. And Encarnacion early in counts can get so big and long that he can be susceptible to being beat.
Way up that time. 2-1. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, does Jake Odorizzi now try to dive down below the zone? He's continued to work Encarnacion up, up, and up. He's getting the swings. You either go a little bit further up in the zone right now, or you try to dive down below it, completely changing that eye level.
And he misses for ball 3. Everything up, and those 2 big misses way up.
Yeah, just overthrowing it. They want to be up in this at bat. That's part of the plan, that fastball up near the eyes. But a couple of them he really jumped on, and they were, well, way up near the eyes.
3-2, runners go, strike 3 call. He got him looking, at that pitch on the outside corner at the knees. Big pitch right here by Odorizzi. And we're through 3, 1-0 Toronto. facing R.A. Dickey tonight. Steven Souza Jr. leads off, then Logan Morrison, followed by Desmond Jennings. Souza fouls the first pitch away. The home run Souza has against Dickey came earlier this year in the first series between these two clubs. Two.
And it was one of those home runs where with a knuckleballer you're going to have to supply most of the power, and he hit it out to right field, so you're supplying an awful lot of power to do that.
This one right off the mitt of Josh Thole. Not easy being a catcher, and Thole pretty much the designated catcher for Dickey and the knuckleball. And that could be a tough job back there. Chopped to third. Paredes gloves and throws. Souza Jr. is out of there. One-run ball game tonight. The Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Pitching the last 4 for the Blue Jays. An even greater problem because the starting had been pretty good.
Yeah.
But not over the last 4 games.
No, coming into this series even, the starting pitching for the Blue Jays was first in the American League in earned run average, but you get a run like that, not only that, it doesn't hurt your team ERA, of course, but when your starter's ERA is 11.07, you are in early holes. Tough to climb out of.
Logan Morrison sends this one high and deep, and that ball is out of here. Home run for Logan Morrison, and the Rays are even. It's a 1-1 ball game. Morrison belting his first home run of the year. This one well struck to right center field.
Well, we're down to 8 for 8.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2.
That one, what a blast. What a blast. And look at his teammates.
But Jennings takes the pitch down.
I'd like to know what that hit, because that almost was an optical illusion of the ball falling onto the turf. Like, wait a minute, that has to be a home run. Bounced off something.
Yeah, the way he hit that ball. 2-0 now. Sixth home run given up by Dickey this year. But that almost looked like a golf ball headed in that direction. Here's the swing on the knuckleball.
Boy, he got underneath it. Good finish, strong uppercut.
Two and two. And here's a look at the swing and the flight of that baseball.
Ah, there you go.
How about that?
That's way up there. That's a shot, man.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
That's where the big boys hit. You don't get up into there unless you've got some serious juice, especially against a knuckleball.
Hey, there's a shot deep to left. That one is gonna go. Home run for Jennings. Back-to-back home runs for the Rays. Morrison hitting one out, and now Desmond Jennings. Jennings hit one in the 9th inning here Monday. Boy, he loves this place. He can hit up here, that's for sure, over an extended period of time. Well over 300 in this park. And now his 3rd home run of the year, the 2nd in the last 3 games here against the Blue Jays.
Boy, another home run. You know, the Rays came in tied for the major league lead in homers. And this is now 2 more. They could be out in front for all we know.
Down and into KIERMAIER. 57 home runs this year for the Rays. Rays hitting Back-to-back home runs sharply hit by KIERMAIER. SMOAK makes the play unassisted. So Morrison and Jennings go back-to-back. First time the Rays have done that this year. A lot to smile about. Two guys who'd been struggling, Morrison and Jennings, coming into this series, and they've had both great series. Conger waves and misses, strike one.
Talking about the movement on that pitch, saying, listen, it didn't move enough.
It's a chopper fair behind first, unassisted by SMOAK. Rays are out, but on two blasts, the Rays grab the lead. Logan Morrison to right center, his first home run of the year. Desmond Jennings to left, his second home run of the series. 2-1 Rays. Moving on to the bottom of the fourth. Toyota inside look. Take a look at this. The offense in May. The Rays have a total of 125 hits, tied for 24th in the major leagues. 30 home runs, first in the major leagues.
And all I will say to you is make them count. If you're not going to have that many hits, make them be four baggers.
1-0 the count here to Justin SMOAK. Yeah, you make the most of what you get.
That's right. Even if it is a four-bagger.
2-0. 2-1. Ball three. Odorizzi falling behind SMOAK. And that's ball four. So leadoff walk.
Well, Jake Odorizzi, you can tell by his reaction. Last thing you want to do, a team gives you the lead on a couple of home runs, and you come out and walk the leadoff guy. I'm going to go to work now. One thing that Jake's been able to do this year, bring up that ground ball double play. Not a big ground ball pitcher, but he's been able to come up with some ground balls when he's needed them. 5 ground ball double plays, could go for 6 here.
Tulowitzki taking one outside. Yeah, the ground ball average rate in the American League now is just under 45%. (2-0), and Jake is 37.5. He was 39 last year, and he has, because he pitches up so much, he tends to be a fly ball guy, pop up fly ball. Trying to get on track here. Conger and Odorizzi talk it over.
And right there, pitching coach Jim Hickey hoping that the message is the right one.
Tulowitzki hit it to the track and center in the second. Takes a strike. 2-1. He found the outside corner down around the knees on that pitch. Missed it that time. And it's 3-1. So back-to-back 3-1 counts here. He walks Smoke. Now 3-1 to Tulowitzki. And it's too high for ball 4. Well, this is the absolute last thing Odorizzi wanted to do after the Rays got those 2 home runs back-to-back for Morrison and Jennings in the top of the inning, and now Hickey's going to have to go to the hill.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Odorizzi is hot right now. I mean, he went back there, grabbed that rosin bag, flipped it around, and slammed it on the back of the mound for the reason that you just said. And now facing Paredes, we've already seen his power, so he's got to be careful with him. But these are those self-inflicted wounds that make it very, very difficult on a pitcher. So Jake's got his work cut out for him.
Well, we saw the power Paredes has hitting this one out to the opposite field.
That ball's up in the zone and a little bit off the plate. And strong man out to left field. So see what the Rays have in store for him.
So he's 2 for 2 in a Blue Jays uniform and 1 for 1 tonight. Pitch blocked by Conger. Paredes can be aggressive and does tend to hit the ball on the ground, although you never know it by the home run he hit in the second inning. And there is a chopper to the right side, kicking foul. So the count will go to 1-1.
Well, if you get a guy up there who is aggressive and is willing to swing the bat, wants to swing the bat, then that's where Jake Odorizzi starts thinking, well, maybe I present something as a strike at the bottom of the zone and get that swing. And if it's down where he intends it to be, he will get that ground ball. He's got a good chance of getting it. We'll see if he sticks with that plan.
Runner at second, Smoke. Tulowitzki at first. Now 2-1. Hot shot, grabbed there by Beckham. He'll go to first. Looked at second, decided to go to first. after coming up with that hot shot. He appeared to have a play at second.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Tim Beckham was thinking right there, because Taylor Motter was there at the bag. The ball was hit sharply enough. You see the shift. Taylor Motter's right there. I mean, look where the runner is. Not even close.
And the fact that he hit the ball that sharply,
yeah,
gave you an opportunity to get to.
I mean, I have no idea. That hurts right there, because that 90 feet now is second and third with one out, as opposed to first and third with one out and the chance to get another double play opportunity. Boy, he had him, and he spun correctly, was looking right at him. Motter was on the bag.
Tulowitzki wasn't even halfway to second base.
Not even close. And you just wonder, if he spins and gets it to Motter, you may have a chance at a double play.
I thought
right
they had
there.
a shot at a double play on Paredes.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
So it's second and third with one out. Here's Kevin Pillar. Pitch is outside. Here's a wider look.
Ball's in the glove right there. There's Tulowitzki. Motter is right there at the bag. And they choose to not go that route. I don't understand that.
Ground ball. Runners will have to hold. Over to first from Longoria. Well, that's what Odorizzi needed right there. No chance for Smoke to come down the line.
Not even close. But Dwayne, this is what you talked about the other day. You know, sometimes a pitcher has to pick up a fielder, and Jake Odorizzi has a chance to do that right here for Tim Beckham.
Second and third with two outs. Ryan Goins. Low and outside. Goins, the number 8 hitter. And saved by Gonder. Nice job there, blocking that pitch.
That runner at third, you got to get down, get the glove over.
Two-0. Out front. 2-1.
There's that deception, Dwayne. 2-0. He wants the fastball, so I'll give him the pitch that really kind of looks like one, but is 6-7 miles an hour.
Pitcher mentality.
Yeah, that's a great pitch. When you can throw that behind an account. Now Goins has no idea what's coming.
He pops it to the right side for Beckham. Waiting for this one, and the Rays get out of that jam. Blue Jays leave runners at second and third. On to the fifth, 2-1 Tampa Bay. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Beautiful skyline here in Toronto on Lake Ontario. Back at Rogers Center, we go to the 5th. Tim Beckham will lead it off. And the pitch is upstairs, 1-0. Well, Beckham relieved as much as Odorizzi, perhaps. That Odorizzi did the job to get out of that jam. Now Beckham shoots one deep to right. That's over the head of Bautista, and Beckham's on his way to second with a double. So Beckham, who had a home run here in the first game of this series, doubles his second time up tonight.
Well, the Rays will get an instant scoring opportunity here and getting it from the bottom of the order. Flip that lineup now for the third time. You've got a runner at second and looking to add to the lead. Didn't look like that was going to be the case the way that inning was unfolding that last half, but the Rays still leading and looking to add on.
Top of the order, Brandon Guyer. One ball, no strikes. Guyer has struck out and popped out tonight. One and one. R.A. Dickey, 41 years old, out of the University of Tennessee. Now ahead of Guyer. He started his pro career, in fact, at Charlotte County when the Texas Rangers had their Florida State League team there. And that's where he broke in the Texas system. Spent a couple years pitching there. Pitch popped up. Tulowitzki at shortstop. Right there, takes care of that. That's the first out. And when he began, R.A. Dickey, he was a conventional pitcher. Remember, the Rangers drafted him and found an abnormality in his elbow. Withdrew the original offer. That cost him a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yep. Taylor Motter. Pitch is a strike.
All from a photo. The way his arm was hanging in a photo.
Yeah. I think he was on the cover.
Yeah.
And one of the Texas trainers spotted something that looked abnormal, and they checked him out.
Found that he did not have a ligament.
They were saying he shouldn't be able to shake hands the way people normally do. Well, it's turned out that it's had very little effect on him. He struggled at times and went to the knuckleball in 2005 when it appeared that his career wasn't going to blossom the way he had hoped, and has mastered that knuckleball. Strikes out Motter.
Yeah, what a career path. And what a story. R.A. Dickey. Culminating in the Cy Young, the National League.
You know, it was Buck Showalter when he was with the Texas Rangers. Oral Hershiser was part of that. Sat down, had a conversation with him, and said, "You ever think about the knuckleball? Maybe you should try that."
By the way, that's not a conversation as a pitcher that you ever want to have with your manager and pitching coach. Have you ever thought about this real trick pitch that no one really throws? Because what you have, basically what they're saying is you're not going to make it traditionally. Have you ever thought about this?
Yep. Well, he took up the challenge and more.
Yeah. given thought to second base. Need to get you as far away from that mound as possible.
It's a ball and a strike. The ball floated right away from Longoria.
We've seen a couple of those. The way that he manipulates that ball and can move it away from the righties.
Tapper, third base. Scoop. Paredes a throw wide. Skips it by the first baseman, SMOAK. BECKHAM will come home with a run. And the Rays have their third run of the night. That's going to make it a 3-1 ball game.
Allen was not hit that hard, and that's going to force Paredes to have to charge, glove, and throw on the run. Not an easy play. You see that ball just sinking away from SMOAK. Longoria was going to beat that thing out anyway. Got a good head of steam up the first base line. Throw goes wide, run comes home.
Base hit for Longoria, an error charge. Oh, what a shot there by SOUZA, and grabbed by SMOAK. That will retire the side. Rays get a run and lead 3-1. Fifth. Support your favorite Rays players by voting with the Esurance All-Star Game ballot at RaysBaseball.com/vote. You can vote up to 5 times a day to get your favorite Ray to the All-Star team. Go to RaysBaseball.com/vote. Josh Thole leads it off. He's 0 for 1. Takes a strike, and the count is now 1-1. Odorizzi and Thole grew up in the same area in little towns about 20 minutes apart. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Odorizzi out of Highland, Illinois, and Thole, about 2 or 3 years older, was from Breeze, Illinois. Started his career in the Mets organization. A ball, 2 strikes. And a cut and a miss. He strikes him out. Nice fastball up.
Abuse is what that at bat was. Made quick work of Josh Thole and just blew him away with that fastball. The swing gets nowhere near this pitch. That ball was well by him up in the zone. That is a staple of Jake Odorizzi, working that ball up in the zone. So enticing.
The pitch to Saunders is a strike. You know, we talked about Jake and maybe with that split not always having the bite that you'd like, but how many pitchers have everything working the way they want it to work? It's tough. You know, you'll get in runs where it seems that everything's in sync and it all comes together, but there are other times when you've got to be resourceful. There's a shot deep into right field, and that one is out of here. Saunders hits his 6th home run of the year, and that makes it a 1-run ball game.
How many of the 6 have come against the Rays? At least 4. At least 4. That was a curveball right there, and Michael Saunders jumped all over it. Almost anticipating this pitch. Jake knew it.
Second home run allowed by Odorizzi tonight. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate to Odorizzi. One and one. Check swing, and that's a foul ball. Bautista tried to hold up on that high fastball and made contact, much to his chagrin. Fly ball into center, caught by KIERMAIER. 2 gone. It'll be Edwin Encarnacion. Erasmo Ramirez up in the bullpen for the Rays. 2 outs into the 5th inning here. Did not go. It's a ground ball. Beckham on the shortstop side of second base handles that out of the shift. We're through 5. It's 3-2 Rays. Home run's a big part of this game, and it started in the 2nd when Jimmy Paredes took Odorizzi to the opposite field for one. In the fourth, the Rays got back-to-back shots from Logan Morrison. I mean, a shot off the facade in right center. And then Desmond Jennings belting this one out to left. That made it 2-1. Rays got another run in the fifth to make it 3-1. And Michael Saunders, 6th home run of the year in the fifth inning, makes it 3-2. So on to the 6th inning we go, and Logan Morrison, who's 2 for 2 tonight, will lead off, to be followed by Jennings and then KIERMAIER. Dickey and Odorizzi talk it over in the Rays dugout. First pitch to Morrison is a strike. Takes a look at Marty Foster, says okay. Or something like that on that pitch out there.
Not a big fan of that call.
What are you going to do with that pitch?
Foul it off is your best bet.
And now check swing on a pitch in that same vicinity, a little bit higher, but you don't necessarily know it's going to be that high out of the zone after that first pitch out there was called a strike. So it's 0-2.
And all he did was foul it off. Yeah, that was that little tweak in the delivery, almost a quick pitch. And R.A. Dickey started doing that for the first time in his last start against the Rangers when he went 8 shutout. Just trying to throw the timing of a hitter off, mess around with him just a little bit.
And that one somehow did not hit him. So the count is 2-2. Morrison thinking, who do you think I am?
I just started.
Brandon Guyer?
Yeah, right. I prefer to get out of the way.
And now there's ball 3. So the count is full. Look at the, did you see where all the pitches had been in this at bat?
Yeah, not in the strike zone.
Wow, look at that.
I think I can see Orion's belt.
There's a liner in the center, and that's going to fall. He's 3 for 3.
7 for 7. Dwayne, you're on it. Goodness.
So Morrison getting behind in the count on a call he didn't like to begin with. Works it back full and has a single.
Well, here's the deal. Tomorrow is an off day, and I'm going to drag you to some 5 and dime in Detroit, and we are going to lay down some Powerball numbers, big boy. Yes, we are.
It's not going to be early, though. We get in late.
I got body pump at 12. Anytime before or after. Johnny O's with me.
All right, I've got sleep late until 11. So
see you about 1:30.
That's it. One and one. Tonight's Buick GMC big matchup. Take a look at this. Desmond 317 here at Rogers Center with 9 home runs, including 1 tonight. Two and 1 to count to Desmond. A 2-2 count now. Rays got 2 runs in the 4th on the back-to-back home runs. Another run in the 5th. Giardini is up in the bullpen. He pitched 2 innings in the game Monday. Rays have had base runners in every inning except the 3rd. Over to first again. Morrison back in. There's that quick move and the quick feet of Dickey. And Dickey pointed toward the dugout after that pickoff attempt.
Watch Smoke right there, and then he goes, no, 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 go look at it right there. He thinks he got him too.
So Dickey taking a little time until the Blue Jays decide what they want to do, and they are indeed going to take a look at that.
It was quick feet, a good throw, and a quick tag by Justin Smoak. And this is where a left-handed first baseman has the advantage. He can let that ball travel, catch it, and the tag, the swipe tag is right there. He doesn't have to reach like a right-hander would. So we'll see.
Mike Winters, the crew chief over there, along with the first base umpire. Here you go.
Let it travel, catch, swipe. I mean, it's close, but you can't tell anything from that shot. Oh, that's close.
Will it be enough to overturn it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You know, from that one, because you don't have the depth perception of the tag, the guy who does have the great depth perception is Mike McClensky, the first base umpire right there. And look at that. Oh, yeah, that's close. It's got to be clear and convincing, though.
Well, yeah, I guarantee you that you could get two guys in a room, one say yes, one say no.
That's right. Or a booth. That's happened before.
Right. And that's where it still comes down to it's a judgment call both times.
Yep.
I think you're right. That second shot, you know, the fingers may be off the bag, but the meat of the hand could be on. You can't tell, so you can't turn it over. Well, that is really close, though.
So the play stands. So that pickoff attempt. And Morrison back there. Wave and a miss. Jennings is out on strikes.
This is what I will tell you. What we can point out with this is the precise reason that you go for that back corner. If he goes for any other part of the bag, he's out. That tag gets there. You've got to make that tag go as far as possible. So you go to the back corner, and that's what saved Logan Morrison.
Here's Kiermaier getting hold of one. That ball is hit deep and out of here. Kevin Kiermaier on the first pitch belts a two-run home run. Logan Morrison scores in front of him. And the Rays score their fourth and fifth runs of the night. It's 5-2 now as Kiermaier truly extends his hitting streak here on that long one to 7 games.
I mean, homer happy Rays. My goodness, and he knew it. We all did.
And Conger takes the pitch for a ball. 3 home runs tonight for the Rays. They have 58 for the year. Conger's ahead 2-0. Two balls and a strike. Conger lifts it to the left side. Paredes over near the bag handles it. Well, the Rays down the middle part of this game have scored 5. The last 2 on Kiermaier's blast. Tim Beckham. Beckham opened the 5th inning with a double and scored what turned out to be an unearned run, but it upped the lead to 3-1. Toronto scored in the bottom of the inning, making it 3-2, and now a home run by Kiermaier, a 2-run shot makes it 5-2. Beckham thinking about his second home run of the year with that last swing. His first one came here Monday night. Hit one out to center field. Skies it up the right side toward the stands and out of play. Two balls, two strikes. Top of the order, Brandon Guyer's on deck. Fly ball, right field. Bautista makes the catch. The Rays score two. Got a base hit from Logan Morrison. And then a home run from Kevin Kiermaier. We're headed into the bottom of the sixth inning tonight in Toronto. And the Rays lead this game 5-2. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Follow Rays Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a lot more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and or tablet. Erasmo Ramirez enters the game. So Odorizzi goes 5, and now Ramirez makes his 17th appearance. He's facing Justin SMOAK. Throws him a strike. SMOAK 0 for 1 with a walk against Odorizzi. One and one.
Well, the Rays with an off day tomorrow. Serious about using the bullpen here tonight, looking for 12 outs. Erasmo Ramirez, he's a guy that can give you some length.
And SMOAK now down on the count, 1-2. 5 innings for Jake. 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 solo home runs by Paredes and Saunders. He struck out a couple, walked 4, one of those an intentional walk. And SMOAK is out on strikes. is in out of the bullpen. Strikes out the first man he faces. Making his first appearance of this series. He worked 2 innings on Sunday in that 7-6 loss to Oakland. It was in relief of Matt Moore. Troy Tulowitzki fouls it back, and that a big cut there, and it ricocheted off Marty Foster's mask, I think.
It did. Absolutely did. It caught him flush on that mask. Saying that he's okay, blinking those eyes.
Take a look at this. Oh, not pleasant at all.
The reaction of Hank Conger, he went right up there because he knew.
Two strikes the count. Foul ball lodged in the base of the stands there. Ball boy had to come out to retrieve that. Marty Foster fortunate that that foul ball wasn't lodged in his face mask the way that came back at him. Foul out of play. Tulowitzki with a fly ball to center, deep center, and then a walk. He was 1 for 3 last night, 0 for 2 in the first game of the series. And Erasmo shooting that outside corner and just barely missing it.
Yeah, that's close enough to get the call. A lot of times, surprised. Well, I think that's one of those pitches where Tulowitzki says, I can't hit it. I just hope that it's a ball. That was a great pitch and a good attempt there by Erasmo.
Another foul ball out of play. Holds the count at 1-2. Again a foul ball, so here we go with a 1-2 count. Tulowitzki in foul ball mode.
This is where you think about expanding that zone again. The count's in your favor, and you've got a hitter up there that is in swing mode. So you know what, maybe try to shoot that edge again just off, try to expand somewhere. It'll be tough for him to hold up here.
And there's strike 3 called, and Tulowitzki doesn't like it. Yeah, he and Marty Foster going face to face on that one. So Tulowitzki upset. Well, he took that one pitch on the corner that, according to Fox Track, was a strike on the corner, and this one catches the lower part of the zone.
Well, you know what? Listen, you can understand the frustration. That ball bottomed out way down there. He's a tall guy. That, you know, it crosses that front shin, and it goes against him. You can understand the frustration. This is a frustrated team. You know, they've dropped 4 in a row. The Rays can finish this off, be 5 in a row.
Tulowitzki not happy at all. He takes a seat. Now the count's 1-1 on Jimmy Paredes. Smoke out swinging. Tulowitzki out looking. Opposite field toward the corner, and Jennings is there to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 7th, 5-2 Tampa Bay. Just want to make sure that Marty Foster's okay after taking that foul ball right off the mask. The Rays. Paul Harker out there checking him out. We're going to get a new pitcher. Joe Biagini will take over for R.A. Dickey. And a Quicken Loans rocket arms. These two starters now out of the game. Jay Odorizzi, 5 innings, couple of hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 1 intentional, and 2 strikeouts for Dickey. 6 strikeouts and a walk. He gave up 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 of those runs earned, 3 home runs in the 6 innings he worked. So it'll be Joe Biagini in replacing R.A. Dickey. They're still looking over Marty Foster to make sure he's all right. So, you know, there's added emphasis now on catchers and plate umpires, and the potential concussion element enters the conversation. And so they want to make sure that he's absolutely all right, as you see both teams involved in this. Here's what we're talking about.
Kind of staggered him. The ball hits the right side of the mask. Knocks him back just a hair.
George Polis, the head trainer for the Blue Jays, out there. Polis and Harker conferring. Foster apparently talked his way into staying in this game. And we're set to move into the 7th inning. Brandon Guyer will face Biagini. This pitch is low. So the Rays get into the Toronto bullpen. Biagini worked 2 innings, gave up no hits, no runs here in the 13-2 Rays win on Monday. Picked up a strikeout in the 2 innings he worked. It's foul out of play. The count is 1-1.
He has been one of the bright spots coming out of that pen for the Toronto Blue Jays. 1 earned run in his 13+ innings. Works downhill. I mean, he's nice and tall over the rubber, over the top with the delivery.
This one is down. You know, Biagini, we touched on it the other night. He's a Rule 5 pick out of that Rule 5 draft. He was in the Giants organization. He's from California, lives in Santa Clara. And the interesting thing about that, you know, the Rule 5 draft was something that was almost unheard of. Not a lot of attention was paid to it. You didn't get a lot of players out of that, because if you draft a player in the Rule 5 draft, you got to keep them on your 25-man roster or offer them back to the organization from which you drafted them. And what we've started to see, I don't know if this will continue. I think there were 16 players picked in the Rule 5 draft this past December, and 10 broke camp with major league teams, and that's unusual to have that many Rule 5 players break camp with a big league club. Biagini's doing a good job here in Toronto. A couple of teams, the Padres and the Phillies, I think, broke camp with 2 each. That's really unusual.
It's called a rebuild. Playing the true freshman.
There you go. That pitch is ball 3 as Geyer held up.
Well, you can only protect so many guys, and at some point you get exposed. And nowadays teams, you know, looking for help. You see a guy like this, good fastball, works downhill's got some secondary pitches. Why not?
That's a line drive grab by Tulowitzki. And out number 1 in the 7th.
And you know, if you think he's got a chance to make your team, you know, the Blue Jays with that bullpen, you bring him in. I mean, if he doesn't, you offer him back, and you know, maybe you're out $25,000 or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, that's it. And you're giving an opportunity to a kid, and 10 out of 15, not a bad rate.
There's Taylor Motter. That pitch is a strike. Motter with a home run last night, a pinch hit home run, his first in the big leagues. 0 for 3 in this game. One and one. Motter was hitting 190 at Durham, had 4 home runs and the 8 RBIs. But if you look at his numbers throughout where he's been, last year at Durham, year before Montgomery, and in the Rays system, he's put together some pretty good offensive numbers. He's popping this one foul. And down from third, Paredes. So 2 up and 2 down. Now Evan Longoria. Evan 2 for 3 tonight, extending his hitting streak to 7. It's interesting that he had that many Rule 5 picks. You know, I guess a couple of ways you could go. More teams are looking for whatever talent they can find, or a lot of clubs have enough talent to the point where they're forced to leave some talented players unprotected.
It's a combination. You're absolutely right. You got so many guys you can only protect, you know.
Yep.
you're going to have to expose some talent. You hope you can hide it.
Yeah, Rays lost a couple Rule 5 players this year.
You think about Rickard with Baltimore, and I think that the Rays thought maybe most teams viewed him as a year or two away, not quite ready, so they'd leave him alone. Well, not the case.
Back to the mound, picked up finally by Biagini, and he throws out Longoria. A 1-2-3, top of the 7th. Rays lead 5-2. In the middle of the 7th inning, the Rays have a 5-2 lead. They've out-hit Toronto 8-2. Logan Morrison and Desmond Jennings hit back-to-back home runs in the 4th inning to give the Rays a 2-1 lead. They picked up an unearned run in the 5th. They got 2 more when Kevin Kiermaier extended his hitting streak to 7 with a home run. Second run for Toronto came in the 5th on the home run by Michael Saunders. So it's a 5-2 contest as the Rays look for the sweep here. And we're going to have a delay. George Poulos, the head athletic trainer for the Blue Jays, and Paul Harker, the Rays training staff, had a conversation with Marty Foster between half innings before the top of the 7th began, and Foster disappeared there for a while. It appeared that perhaps we were going to have a change behind the plate, but Marty comes back out and says that he wants to continue. All of that stems from this foul ball off Tulowitzki's bat and right to the mask. There's Harker talking with him, and Poulos walking him off the field there to maybe do some further checking. And apparently he feels well enough to continue, but you know, I really never noticed the eye blinking as much as we've seen it since that foul ball. Hank Conger commiserating with the plate umpire. Catchers and plate umpires have a lot in common when it comes to the toughness required to be behind the plate. Well, we got to the bottom of the 7th, and here's Kevin Pillar. Ground ball. Beckham is right there. One pitch after all that delay. Ramirez gets Pilar on the first pitch.
That's a way to do it. Resmo Ramirez, you know, he's one of those guys that he doesn't really mess around a whole lot. He's in attack mode from the moment he gets on the mound. Supreme confidence in his stuff, in what he's doing out there, and the ability to pitch over the plate and get outs.
Yeah. There's Ryan Goins. And there's a strike away from the left-handed hitter. Well, that one disappeared on the other side of the plate. 0-2.
Yeah, how about the swing that it elicited? Breaking ball, big breaking ball, down and in off the plate. If you're a Resmo Ramirez, you have Ryan Goins right where you want him. You can do anything you want here.
And strike three call. So 3 pitches. A 1-pitch ground ball out from Pilar, and now 3 pitches and a called third strike to Goins.
3 different pitches. You know, you go hard away, breaking ball down and in, back to change up, down and away, and get him looking. That's what you talk about when you supreme confidence in everything that he's doing.
Josh Thole. It's a ball and no strikes. Tolley's grounded out to first and has struck out. Fly ball center field. KIERMAIER right there, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for Ramirez. On to the 8th. 5-2 Rays.
Rays sporting a 5-2 lead, looking for the sweep over the Blue Jays. Stay with us, because coming up following the game, Dwayne and BA will have the Rays Live postgame show brought to you by Checkers. We'll be talking about the pitching matchup tonight. Jake Odorizzi going 5 innings but giving up just 2 hits and 2 runs. We'll also look at how the Rays handled R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer. Plus, of course, we'll talk about the home runs, and I will be in the clubhouse getting interviews from the players, and we'll hear from Kevin Cash's post-game press conference. And guys, speaking of those home runs, 3 more tonight gives the Rays 58, which at this time leads Major League Baseball. Our final Web Wednesday question coming from Haywood. He wants to know, what's the deal with all the home runs? It's almost like Jerry Seinfeld asked the question, but it was Haywood. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. We go to the 8th inning. Gavin Floyd's going to be the new pitcher. Steven SOUZA Jr. will lead off against him. And the fastball is inside. Biagini worked 1 perfect inning.
I think that the answer to that question is twofold. Number one, You've got more guys in the Rays lineup that are capable of hitting home runs. So you've got, you know, more opportunities. And number two, they're an aggressive team. They've been aggressive, you know, it started at the end of last year, even more aggressive at the beginning of this year. And so these guys are up there swinging the bat with mean intentions. I think is it what, 10? At least 10 different Rays have homered already. And that's where you talk about the depth in the lineup of guys capable of leaving the yard.
You know, it's interesting because these deals were made with the idea of adding punch to the lineup. That was one of the frustrating things about last year's club. It seemed to be an overly conservative approach to hitting for about 4 months. Then they became aggressive the last couple months, and the offense picked up. So the feeling was add a couple more hitters to that lineup to keep that going. So there's more power up and down the lineup. Interesting thing, when you break down what's happened in the early part of this season, if we thought they became more aggressive in the last couple months last year, they really have been aggressive in the opening month or month and a half this year. SOUZA fights it off, fouls it. Still 2-2. So, and you might think that somewhere in between is the happy medium. But they've been aggressive. They've been after that first pitch all season.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is a philosophy being taken by a lot of different clubs. Oh, he got it.
Tulowitzki's long throw could not beat SOUZA's speed to the bag, and there's the leadoff single in the 8th.
You know, Tulowitzki took just a hair too long to set himself and then step into that throw. SOUZA Jr., and we, you know, get to see him every day, so it's different on this end. But boy, he can motor up the line, long strides. He's a good runner. And right here, watch Tulowitzki. Got it. Okay, now stop. It's not much, but it was enough for SOUZA to get there.
And it does not take him long to get to full speed. We talk about KIERMAIER, but look at SOUZA Jr. go.
Well, listen, they've got a little competition going on right now. On the base paths, in the outfield.
Pitch is down to Logan Morrison, who's 3 for 3 tonight. Logan had a couple of hits and 2 runs batted in last night. So the average up over 170 right now. But he's better off not even to think about that and just approach each at bat and each game as they occur day to day, at bat by at bat. And a move to first. SOUZA Jr. back in.
You already had your shot. Even me.
Fly ball into right. Bautista's going to catch it. And Morrison retired for the first time tonight. And SOUZA heads back to first.
Now, he didn't get that 4th straight hit, but you're going up against a guy who, Gavin Floyd, against left-handed hitters, are just 2 for 28 on base percentage of barely over 100. He has handled the lefties. It was a tough ask.
Runner goes, a swing and a miss. Throw down's not going to be in time. And SOUZA Jr. picks up his 2nd stolen base.
Stay away from the double play. Get yourself into scoring position. Off he goes. Good jump. No chance.
0-2 to Jennings. Ground ball, that'll be handled by Tulowitzki. Moving to third, SOUZA Jr. So Jennings is the second out. Well, here's what's coming up Friday on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers from Detroit. We'll hear from Matt Andriese. Two outstanding outings for the Rays right-hander. We'll hear from him. He'll be on the mound, and the rest is we'll break down Nick Castellanos, the American League's leading hitter right now. There's Kevin Kiermaier.
Well, that's one thing that we know about the Detroit Tigers team is they can hit. They led all of Major League Baseball last year in batting average at 270, and you think about Castellanos leading the way, Cabrera, Martinez, JD Martinez. There's a lot of different threats in that lineup. Ian Kinsler. Ian Kinsler homered again today. He's homered in 4 straight games for the Tigers.
Tigers beat Minnesota 6-3. Kinsler with 10 home runs now. And it's 1-2 to Kiermaier. Oh, that one ricochets off Floyd. Picked up by Paredes. Throw to first in time. That will retire the side. And Floyd appears to be all right after taking that shot off Kiermaier's bat. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-2 Rays. Erasmo Ramirez, who made only 6 pitches in the 7th, back out there to open the bottom of the 8th against the top of the lineup. Michael Saunders, who has a home run tonight, 1 for 3, takes the first pitch too low. Bautista will follow, and then Encarnacion. Strike on the corner. 5-9-0 for the Rays. 2-2-1 for the Blue Jays. Ground ball right side for Beckham. Rays playing the shift, and Beckham in the middle on the right side handles that.
That's why you do it. I tell you, Erasmo Ramirez, he just continues to mow through. Quick work, and you've got to be ready to swing the bat. He's not going to go out there and beat around the bush, so you better be ready to go. He gets a lot of quick outs. You know, we saw that in the 7th inning.
Yep. 3 pitches to get Saunders. Now Bautista. 1-0 the count. Colomé up in the bullpen. High pop up. Beckham's going to get the call. Halfway between second and the mound, and that's 2 gone. 2 away. This summer, some of the biggest names in soccer converge on the United States for the 100th anniversary of one of the world's biggest tournaments. Coverage of the Copa America Centenario begins June 3rd across the networks of Fox Sports. Edwin Encarnacion. There's a strike on the corner. Encarnacion grounded out into the shift in the 5th inning. They employ the same shift here in the 8th with Beckham on the shortstop side of second. 1-1. Like a pretty good pitch right there. Long one to center field. Kiermaier is going to run out of room on this one. Home run to center for Encarnacion. That makes it a 5-3 game.
The Rays have had success against Encarnacion with the fastball when it's been up at the top of the zone and above. This one by Ramirez kind of sinks down into the juice zone, and Edwin did not miss it.
Yep, you either want to go way down or up. Not there.
Well, especially too because they wanted it away and that thing ran right to the middle. So you're in the wrong area as far as verticality, and you're also middle. Bad combo.
1-0 here to Justin Smoak. Here's another look at that location.
Starts out nice, and here it comes. You get that catcher reaching back across the heart of the plate, bad things happen.
Yeah, you don't want your catcher reaching.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That when your catcher reaches, that baseball usually never finds its way into that glove.
Two outs, a run home, 2-1 to count on Justin Smoak. He lays off, and that's ball 3. 3-1 to count. Troy Tulowitzki is on deck. Smoak fouls it to take it to 3-2. shot toward right center. Into the gap. Couple of hops to the wall. KIERMAIER, a great play on the carom, and boy, how close was that at second on a ball hit that way. He got a great carom turned and threw right to the bag. SMOAK had to hustle his way in.
Now that's going to bring Kevin Cash out to the mound, but you're right. He was a lot closer than you ever thought when that ball was first hit. We saw where it was hit. Put himself in position to spin and throw.
Pitching change coming. Back in a moment. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun. Brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. From Toronto, Alex Colomé gets the call. A runner at second base, 2 outs in the 8th in a 2-run game. And he faces Troy Tulowitzki.
Blue Jays able to get that tying run to the plate, and that's exactly why Colomé is in this ball game. Fresh arm. Need to get 4 outs. This is the big one.
Tulowitzki bounces it foul. Tulowitzki hit the ball to the track and center in the 2nd. Walked in the 4th and was called out on strikes in the 6th on a call he disputed with the plate umpire Marty Foster. That's a foul ball. Skipping to the backstop. Colomé quickly ahead in the count. Tulowitzki 1 of 2 in his career against Colomé. That hit was a home run. Pitch is down. Colomé jumping out in front here. One, 2. Did he go? No. It squares the count.
Well, staying with the breaking ball is Alex KIERMAIER. You know, he threw that first pitch fastball that Tulowitzki turned on and fouled it up the third base line. I think sending a message that he was laying in wait for the fastball. He got around on it quick, so it's been some off speed ever since. Climbed the ladder.
And it's wide. Fastball outside, and the count is 3-2.
Well, if you've got confidence with the fastball up in the zone, you go there. If not, you go back to the breaking ball. It's just a matter of personal preference and whatever a pitcher is feeling good with right now.
Runner at second, Justin SMOAK. Three-two. He got him. Struck him out. Tulowitzki down swinging. 1-run scores on the home run by Encarnacion. A man left at second. The strikeout takes care of the 8th.
As we head into the top of the 9th inning here at Rogers Center, and some of that attributable to Alex KIERMAIER and the work that he did on Troy Tulowitzki. Here's the sequence. There's the fastball. Tulowitzki turns on it, fouls it off. Now we're going to go to the breaking ball. Now you're up 0-2. This one gets spiked 1-2. Come back with another 2-2. Tries another fastball, not real close, 3-2. And then, how about that? Deluxe slide ball.
In the 9th, Hank Conger grounds it into shallow right, but with the shift, he is the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out in the Rays' 9th. Gavin Floyd, the 3rd pitcher for the Jays. Dickey worked 6. Eugenie 1 inning. Floyd worked the 8th. Now here's Tim Beckham. Pitch is a strike. Two.
Tell you what, Floyd is showing some very crisp stuff. Good life on the fastball, that 93 range. Good breaking ball there. Also love the fact the way that he hides the baseball. Watch as it comes out of the glove and stays directly behind the body. It just limits the exposure and the time a hitter can pick up a release point.
The ball, 2 strikes.
It's all of a sudden that hand with the baseball in it appears out of nowhere.
2-2. Floyd had Tommy John surgery in 2013. Actually had a couple of recoveries to go through. He twice snapped a bone in the elbow, and so it was not pretty making his way back. There's a base hit up the middle. Beckham will aggressively turn first and head for second, and he is safe in at second base head first. Well, he had Pilar moving horizontally out there, and he takes advantage of that, running it into a double.
Well, you can see it all right before you. You see how Pilar, how far he's got to go. And now make the throw. It's going to be a little bit wide. Well, the key to getting out there is to get going right out of the box, and that's what Beckham does. Good slide to the inside part of the bag, too.
So the Rays have another threat with a man in scoring position. Off day tomorrow for the Rays. And then they head into Detroit. It'll be Matt Andriese to open that series against Anibal Sanchez on Friday night. We'll be with you at 6:30. Smiley and Fulmer on Saturday afternoon, and then the early game Sunday, Archer and Zimmerman, as the Rays see the Tigers for the first time in Detroit this year. Will be the second stop on this road trip. Here's Brandon Guyer. Look at that breaking ball. Strike one. Guyer looking for his first hit tonight. Serving as the designated hitter. 0-2.
Boy, nasty, nasty fastball. That's that late life. You know, that ball starts on the inner half, inner third. And as Guyer starts to swing, it just dives under the bat. Good sinking action after the curveball.
Into the dirt. Thole can't find it. Here comes a run in to score as Beckham comes all the way home from second base. Thole was looking everywhere for that one. Beckham had third base in his sights, and when he realized that Thole couldn't find it, he headed for the plate, and the Rays get that extra run. Well, there's some base running deluxe by Tim Beckham.
Thole, he actually looked inside of his chest protector too. Anticipate, ball in the dirt, head, eyes keeping everything out in front of him. That's an easy run there for the Rays, coming a long way to do it.
And Guyer strikes out for the second out, but the Rays already have that run home. Well, how about that? Heads up. Beckham, who hustled his way into a double, hustles home from second base. Watch this. You can't make a play if you don't know where the baseball is, and that's the situation Thole found himself faced with. The strike to MOTTER. So the Rays now make it a 6-3 game. One. Two balls and a strike. Upstairs, 3-1. Rays have hit 3 home runs tonight. The Blue Jays have hit 3 home runs. And the Rays lead this game 6-3. Ground ball second. Goins makes the play. Rays are out in the 9th, but they pick up a run. The wild pitch. Beckham scored from second. 6-3. Tonight's Wednesday Showdown is brought to you by your Tampa Bay area Mazda dealers. Showdown time, moving into the bottom of the 9th. Rays leading 6-3. Looking to sweep this series after wins of 13-2 and 12-2. Jimmy Paredes playing third base. Opened the scoring in this game with a home run back in the 2nd. He leads off the bottom of the 9th. Alex Colomé delivers the first pitch high. Colomé came on, struck out Troy Tulowitzki with a runner at second to end the 8th. It's 1-1. Colomé after his 10th save. There's a strike. Millard due next. Goins scheduled to follow. Ground ball right side. Beckham in the middle on the right side with the shift, and Paredes is out of there.
Well, and this is where you want it to end. You're working on the bottom 4 hitters in the Blue Jay lineup, and so don't even allow it. The thought of rolling around to the top again, facing that power up there.
Yeah, no percentage in that.
Nope. Handle your business now and end this thing.
Three ground ball outs by Pilar in this game. And he takes a fastball for a strike.
Boy, how about Colomé and the way that he is, with Brad Boxberger being injured, has had to move into this role, and I mean seamless. The transition's seamless.
Ground ball again, this one foul. 0-2.
You know, that ability to come in out of the bullpen, and most of the time with a power closer, you're going to get 2 pitches. Fastball, breaking ball, end of story. Fastball split. Colomé comes in with the arsenal of a starter. You're going to see the fastball. You're going to see a hard slider. You will see the changeup. Not afraid to use all three.
Trying to move into double figures in the save department. His 9th save was the win over the Angels, and a save for Andres. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Odorizzi still the pitcher of record, and Jake went into this one looking for his first win of the year in this, his 9th start. Two and two. Those gentlemen getting the evening off. Day off tomorrow for the Rays. They pick up play Friday in Detroit. Swing and a miss. That mid-90s fastball by Pilar for a strikeout. Second strikeout for Colomé.
And it's a good riding fastball. It's a power fastball. And seemingly just Colomé just powers this thing by. The good effort on the release extension, and that ball just heavy and by you.
Ryan Goins up there. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch is a strike at the knees. Well,
it's a byproduct of that fastball. You've got to get it started early if you're going to cover the power fastball of Colomé. That pitch nowhere near the strike zone, but Goins already had it going.
And the count is 0-2. And he ends it right here. He strikes him out. 2 strikeouts to end this one. And the Rays sweep the Toronto Blue Jays.